I'm gonna make some jerky. You can see I got an eye of round here, a whole one from Costco. And it's 3.255 kilos, $6.99 a kilo, almost 23 bucks. I usually look for a $20 one. 3 kilos is what I usually look for because I can get 3 kilos into my dehydrator. This I won't be able to get it all in, I don't think. So first thing you got to do is cut this open and drain. There's liquid in there, as you can see, blood basically. You're going to have to drain that off. I won't show that, I'm operating one-handed here unfortunately, but that's pretty straightforward. Drain it over. So I got it drained there. You can see I've got a couple of things that I strongly suggest here. One, the first thing is a Kevlar glove. This is a butcher's glove. It's going to save your fingers or your thumb or whatever. 20 bucks at a kitchen supply place. That's what I paid for it here in Ottawa. Highly worthwhile. This is a butcher's boning knife. I'm going to use that to clean it up, the outside. Get all the fat off. That's what you got to do first. And on an eye of round you can see there's a bit of a seam here for one of the other cuts. There's going to be some fat there. You got to trim all this fat off. Everything you can find. There's a part of the next muscle there. You see? So you're going to get in between there, trim all that off. Save everything you trim. I always fry it up, make a nice stir fry. All that fat is actually yummy. And if you adhere to the idea of the paleo diet, it's actually pretty good for you. Trim all that up with that knife. Then I've got this. This is what a butcher calls a steak knife. It's 18 inch, I think. It's really sharp. I just sharpened both of these. You want to work with a good sharp knife. I'm going to use this afterwards for cutting it up. So I'm going to show you how that goes. Maybe I'll try to get one of my kids here to hold this camera while I work for a bit. Alright, so I got my son helping out here. Any shaky camera work is his fault. Actually, since I'm left-handed, pause that. Do it again.
Yeah.
Alright, so since I'm left-handed, I put him on the other side. Here's that, this is actually part of another muscle, one of the other rounds. I don't know which one. And so good, my knife, I did manage to sharpen it. Doesn't matter if you get too much of the meat when you're doing this, because like I said, you're going to make a stir fry in the end. Keep it on what I'm doing here, dude. Don't be going all over the place. So if you get on this fat right, see if I can do that. If you're pulling it right, you can get it just, see? I'm getting pretty much just the fat there.
And some blood.
Yeah, well, that comes with meat, dude.
Yeah.
And with a good sharp knife there, I cut into the muscle too much. But that doesn't matter because I want a little bit of that muscle for the stir fry that I'm going to make. So, clean this all up. Clean it up means get all the fat out of it. Any of the can't remember what that's called. Oh boy, it's been a while since I've been a butcher, eh?
Yep.
The skin, I guess. I'm just going to collect it up in there for the moment. And let's see. Alright, so I'll finish that up and then we'll continue later. And I just remembered what it was called. This they call the silver skin. That's like the membrane between the two muscles right here. You can see the silver skin's cut off here, and then this has silver skin on it right there. You don't really need to trim all the silver skin off for your jerky, but you probably want. So I got it all trimmed up there. These are the trimmings back here. I just have my scale out because I'm going to weigh the trimmings this time. I've never done this before. I'm curious how much I trim off, and I'm going to weigh that, and also I'm going to track the percentage of dehydration I get. So I put this on here, it's zeroed out. I'm going to stick my trimmings in there. It's a fair bit. You can see that I wasn't shy trimming it, in part because my knife, this guy, is not as sharp as I would have hoped, and it's hard to be really accurate when your knife is not that sharp. That's 854 grams. So that's kind of not very good on my part. That's, holy moly, is that right? Yeah, that's close to a third I've lost just on trimming it up. But that's okay, because this is going to make a really good stir fry, so I'm good with that. That's part of the reason why I'm not trying to be too accurate when I trim it up. Alright, so here we are. Now, a lot of people ask, when you're cutting this up for jerky, do you cut it with the grain or against the grain? And it definitely makes a difference. And what I encourage you to do is do an experiment yourself and try both. So cut this right in half, and then do half with the grain and half against the grain. It's pretty easy. So and what you want to do is you want to cut it about the thickness of thick bacon. So you can see this is cutting against the grain, because the grain on these things go this way. So this is cutting against the grain, and you need a pretty good large sharp knife to do this. And that's a little thick on that end, but it doesn't matter. And that's what I'm going for right there. This will be easier to cut evenly if you chuck it in the freezer for an hour or two first, actually. I never do that, especially if you don't have a really big knife. It's going to be much easier if you don't have a really big knife. So you can make it smaller than this if you want, but that's all I'm doing. Is I'm going, that's a little bit thin on that one, but that's okay. It all works out in the end. So you don't got to get too crazy about your accuracy. So I'm going to do this whole one here, going against the grain, and then the other one going with the grain. I'll just swap that out here. The other one going with the grain, what I do is I start on the side like this. You're going to get a little small one at first. Doesn't matter. You look for the same thickness. That's a little thin. Your first couple might not be just right. That's okay. Now we have a nice piece here about the thickness that you want. And you just go along like that. Same deal. Nice big knife. You don't got to go over there. No, keep it on the meat, buddy. Don't be trying to get artistic on me. Just keep it on the meat. Keep it on the knife. No, keep it on the knife. Right here. Alright. Oh, that's a little bit thin on that one, but that's okay. It all works out. Now, what you'll find is once you get so far through here, some of those are really big. You can cut those smaller if you want. I like it really big. Once you get so much through here, you're going to have to flip your piece. Look, that's huge. That's okay. I like huge. So, we get her down. It's not hard at all. And don't worry if one's too thin or one's too thick. It all comes out in the wash or in the dehydrator anyway. Nice big one there. So we're getting down to the point where I'll flip my piece, and I flip it onto, that's the face that I was cutting there. I turn it down onto the face that I was cutting. And then I go again. And I might have to do that. I might have to flip it again depending on
how much you have.
Depending on how much you have and how things are working out. And that's it. That's all you do. So just cut up the rest, half with the grain, half against the grain. I'll do some more here of the other one, going against the grain,